Welcome to the Texas Department of Transportation Corpus Christi District's virtual public meeting for the SH361 feasibility study. This presentation will discuss proposed improvements to SH361 and the SH361-SH35 US 181 interchange in San Patricio County, Texas. At the end of the presentation, we will provide you with commenting options for any questions or input you may have. To be included in the official virtual public meeting record, comments must be received on or before Tuesday, March 16, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Let's get started. Given the unique circumstances of the COVID-19 outbreak, along with our commitment to protecting our public health during this pandemic, TxDOT is conducting virtual public meetings until further notice to avoid in-person contact. At this time, the virtual format is being held in lieu of an in-person public meeting. This presentation will cover the same information that the TxDOT Corpus Christi District would have shared at the in-person public meeting. However, the comment process will be different. Details on how to submit a comment and how to have your questions addressed will be covered later in this presentation. All project information can be found on the project website at www.txdot.gov. Keyword search SH361. This virtual public meeting has been convened by TxDOT and is being held to receive and consider comments from the public regarding the SH361 feasibility study. You may have attended previous public meetings conducted by TxDOT. However, for the benefit of those who have never attended one, I will explain why and how the department conducts a public meeting. A public meeting has four essential purposes: to inform the public of the status of planning efforts on the project and to present these recommendations based on technical analysis performed to date, to describe the project to the public, including known potential project impacts to the human and natural environment, to provide the public an opportunity to view information and express their ideas and concerns at this stage in the planning process when there is flexibility to respond to comments and location and design decisions have not been finalized. And finally, to develop a record of public views and participation to accompany recommendations for subsequent decisions. This virtual public meeting is being held in compliance with both federal and state laws. Documentation of this meeting will be made available for the official record. The SH361 feasibility study is evaluating how to better connect SH35, US 181, and SH361, while also improving safety and mobility. The SH361 study encompasses about 3,340 acres and is located in and around the cities of Gregory, Portland, and Ingleside. This is part of a larger project to improve the SH361 corridor in San Patricio County from SH361-SH35 interchange to just west of FM 1069. During the feasibility phase of the project development, engineers and planners conduct studies to define problems, gather data, recommend solutions, weigh the potential environmental impacts, and analyze a preferred concept. This is all done with input from you, our stakeholder. You might be wondering if the project already has started given all the construction around the study area. In fact, TxDOT has an ongoing project to improve US 181 from FM 3239 Buddy Gainham Drive to FM 2986 Wildcat Drive. This project is widening the roadway to allow for 3 continuous 12-foot travel lanes in each direction, adding overpasses over Childress Street, Sunset Road, and SH35, and providing ADA accessible sidewalks and ramps on the frontage roads. The US 181 project and the SH361 feasibility study are evidence of the amount of growth taking place in and around this part of the state. The region has seen an increase in the number of industrial operations utilizing SH361. This area has good access to highways, railroads, and the port, and will likely continue to attract similar industries and expansions of existing operations. Additionally, the city of Gregory and surrounding areas are also seeing an influx of new housing units, both multifamily and single-family residential, as well as proposed commercial sites. This growth is a driving force behind future traffic demand and one of the reasons TxDOT is exploring possible improvements to the SH 361, US 181, SH 35 interchange. Improving operations and safety at the intersections of SH 35, SH 361, and US 181 is particularly important as SH 35 and US 181 are designated hurricane evacuation routes and need to be able to quickly and efficiently move people out of the area in the event of an emergency. As part of the study, one of the first things our team did was to analyze historical crash data for the study area. As this image shows, a majority of crashes are found at intersections. The greatest concentration for the study area is at the intersection of SH 35, SH 361, and SH 202, also known as East 4th Street. The study team also met with area stakeholders to better understand community concerns. Next, the study team took a look at existing traffic conditions throughout the interchange. This was done using level of service, or a grading system used to define acceptable delays and congestion at intersections. It ranges from level A, free-flowing traffic, to level F, forced flow or very congested. Currently, several areas in the study are already experiencing less than desirable level of service, which means the interchange is not sufficient to meet current or future demand. These are pointed out in the slide using the colored arrows. Based on an analysis of existing conditions, needs, and challenges, TxDOT identified that the purpose of the study is to evaluate and analyze possible solutions and alignments to manage traffic congestion and delay for future year conditions, reduce traffic delays associated with railroad crossings, provide direct connections for heavy traffic movements, reduce frequency and severity of crashes, improve hurricane evacuation routes. This information was presented to the public at an in-person public meeting held on February 27, 2020. Participants were asked to give their input on priorities for the project, as well as identify trouble spots on a map using stickers and handwritten comments. 25 people attended the public meeting, not including elected officials representing the cities of Gregory and Portland, as well as San Patricio County. Comments included challenges related to the railroad crossings and trains blocking traffic. People also expressed concerns about growing congestion during peak hours and challenges with merging and weaving at South Gregory and La Quinta Road. Using the information collected at the public meeting, TxDOT developed 5 concepts for consideration to improve the SH 361, SH 35 interchange. Concept A is known as an at-grade diamond interchange, meaning that the roads entering the intersection are at ground level. A diamond interchange is the most common type of interchange along a highway and is already in place at this location. The biggest change would be that the road coming from Gregory would be shifted to the south side of the railroad. This concept is low cost and has the fewest impacts to adjacent properties, but it does not meet the goal of eliminating railroad crossings. Concept B would also move the road coming from Gregory to the south side of the railroad. However, instead of being all on the same level, it would take SH 361 and Spur 202 over the existing railroad tracks on an elevated structure, which is shown here in blue. This concept requires no additional right-of-way, but costs considerably more because it would require the reconstruction of the SH 35 main lanes over the interchange. Concept C is like Concept B, except in this case, SH 35 main lanes would stay as they are, and the diamond would be elevated above them, creating a third level. This option costs less than Concept B and would not affect operations on the SH35 main lanes. It also needs no additional right-of-way, but the elevated frontage roads would impact access to adjacent properties near the intersections. Concept D was uniquely designed to help remove two railroad crossings. This concept would relocate and separate the intersection for SH361 and Spur 202. Right-of-way would be needed to create a trumpet shape approaching a signalized intersection with the SH35 southbound frontage road. The design also proposes ground-level ramps and U-turn lanes in both directions of SH35. This concept would eliminate two existing railroad crossings. However, it introduces a disconnect for traffic coming from Ingleside and heading to Gregory. Concept E is an elevated single-point urban interchange, also known as a SPUI. A SPUI is an intersection design where a single-point traffic signal at the center of an interchange controls all left turns. This allows for drivers to make opposing left turns at the same time and improves the efficiency of the intersection. This concept would eliminate two existing railroad crossings. It also provides the best improvement to traffic level of service for the morning and evening rush hours through the year 2045. Though uncommon to the Corpus Christi area, a SPUI is a design that is used across the United States and has been proven to be successful for improving traffic operations. They are also easy to maneuver. Each of the 5 concepts were then compared to the no-build concept, or in other words, what happens if we do nothing at all and make no improvements. As you can see from this table, these regional routes will be providing significantly less than desirable levels of service in 2045 under the no-build condition. By comparison, all of the concepts improve level of service during the morning rush hour, but only the SPUI improves level of service during both the morning and the evening rush hours. The environmental constraints map shown on this slide was developed to compare each of the concepts and their potential impacts to the human and natural environment. To get a closer look, please go to the Downloads tab on the Virtual Public Meeting page to see the environmental constraints map in its entirety. Prior to December 16, 2014, the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, reviewed and approved documents under the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA. However, on December 16, 2014, the Texas Department of Transportation assumed responsibility from the FHWA through a Memorandum of Understanding to review and approve certain assigned NEPA environmental documents. This Memorandum of Understanding between TxDOT and the FHWA was updated on December 9, 2019. The review and approval process applies to this project. If the project feasibility study is approved to move into a schematic design phase, then environmental studies would be conducted for the proposed SH361 project to support an environmental clearance in accordance with NEPA. These environmental analyses are necessary to identify, avoid, and minimize impact to the human and natural environment. Though the concepts show potential right-of-way requirements, detailed designs would be completed to identify exact needs. Notices for this public meeting were advertised in the Corpus Christi Caller-Times and on the TxDOT.gov website under Hearings and Meeting Schedule. The TxDOT Public Information Officer also prepared a news media release to advertise the public meeting. The study-related materials are available on the project website at www.txdot.gov. Keyword search SH361. This table shows the evaluation of concepts were also evaluated using a variety of criteria. The complete matrix can be found under the Download heading on the Virtual Public Meeting page, but this table captures some of the high points. As you can see, the SPUI improves level of service and average delay significantly over the 4 options. It also removes 2 railroad crossings and only requires minimal addition right-of-way. While the Trumpet also removes 2 at-grade railroad crossings, it requires the most amount of additional right-of-way and does not accommodate future traffic for the evening rush hour. For this reason, TxDOT is recommending the SPUI for the SH35-SH361 interchange. Next, we'll tell you a little more about how a SPUI works. Everything you see in blue would be on a 3rd level above the existing SH35 main lane bridge, which is shown in yellow. This is where the single point interchange would be located and where you would go to get from SH361 to SH35 and vice versa. Additionally, any sections of road you see with the hatched red marks would be removed, thereby eliminating 2 railroad crossings. Those movements would be accommodated on the 3rd level SPUI intersection. TxDOT traffic engineers developed this model using future traffic to show how the SPUI will work to handle traffic through 2045. If this concept moves forward into schematic design, a more detailed 3D animation will be created to show how the interchange will operate. Next, we'll show a short video that explains how a SPUI works.
The Single Point Urban Interchange, or SPUI, is one type of innovative interchange. A SPUI is an interchange controlled by one signalized intersection. All freeway ramps begin or end at this single signalized intersection. Right turn movements onto and off the freeway ramps are made at stop or yield controlled intersections separate from the main intersection. Let's take a closer look at how a SPUI works for motorists. Motorists navigate a SPUI like a conventional diamond interchange, except all movements are made at one traffic signal rather than 2. From the arterial, motorists can turn left or right onto the freeway ramp or continue straight through the interchange. From a freeway ramp, motorists use left and right turn lanes to turn onto the arterial. There are several benefits of a SPUI design, such as improved safety. SPUIs only have one signalized intersection, which means vehicles only cross paths at one location rather than 2, like at a conventional diamond interchange. Increased efficiency. The intersection at a SPUI operates with fewer traffic signal phases, which allows the interchanges to operate with less delay than conventional diamond interchanges and improves travel times on the arterial. Increased capacity. At SPUIs, left turns can be made at higher speeds, which increases the capacity of the main intersection and allows the interchange to handle a greater volume of traffic.
Now let's talk about the schedule of the project. The construction for improvements identified by the study are not currently funded. The project team began work on the study in late 2019 and met with local agency stakeholders and the public to receive their input in February 2020. The next step in the process is to develop an environmentally clear schematic design. TxDOT would then develop detailed plans, specifications, and estimates. The earliest the project could go to construction is in 2025. We are requesting the public's feedback on the concepts considered and recommended for moving forward, which were presented today as part of the virtual public meeting. All comments received will be considered and incorporated as appropriate into concept design. After addressing comments received during this virtual public meeting, a public meeting summary report will be prepared and posted at www.txdot.gov, keyword search SH361. TxDOT will then move forward with developing a schematic design and securing environmental clearance for the preferred concept if appropriate. Additional public involvement opportunities will be offered throughout the schematic design process. Comments will be accepted in several ways. You may fill out an online comment form, submit a written comment via email to sh361@pausecam.com, submit a written comment via USPS mail to TxDOT Corpus Christi District Office, attention Kimberly Amy, 1701 South Padre Island, Corpus Christi, Texas 78416, or call Jason Alvarez, PE, at 361-808-2495. Comments must be received or postmarked by Tuesday, March 16, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. to be part of the official virtual public meeting record. Questions on this project may be directed to the TxDOT project manager, Jason Alvarez, PE, at jason.alvarez@txdot.gov. Following the virtual public meeting, TxDOT will provide responses to all comments received. These responses will be available for viewing within the virtual public meeting summary report on the project website at txdot.gov. Keyword search SH361. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation and participate in the virtual public meeting. If you have any questions or comments, please email sh361@pausecam.com. Thank you again for participating and have a great day.